Rappers who are stuck in the past. The music world moves pretty fast. If you blink, you might miss a trend going out of style. That applies to all genres, but it's certainly true for rap. Rappers come and go, subgenres rise and fall, and whole flows are invented out of nowhere. You really need to pay attention if you want to stay relevant. Rappers like Drake and Future do a great job of that. They're both always tapped into whatever is new and exciting, and it has allowed both of their careers to flourish over a long time. Not every rapper is great at keeping up with the ebb and flow of rap trends though. Sometimes this can be a cool thing. You can't really blame a rapper for not switching up their style if they've just found a formula that really works. But taken to the extreme, this can definitely be a detriment. No one wants to hear someone that sounds like they're just totally stuck in the past. Nostalgia has its place, but it should only be used sparingly when it comes to rap. There are definitely a lot of artists out there who are guilty of being stuck in the past. Whether it's their flows, their bars, or just their general style, you can spot them from a mile away. Before I jump into this video though, make sure to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, here are 7 rappers who are stuck in the past. Number 7. Joe Budden. A lot of younger hip-hop fans may not know this, but Joe Budden actually used to be a rapper before he transitioned into being a media personality. He had some hits in the day, both as a solo artist and as part of the group Slaughterhouse, which was active from 2008 to 2018. Most people have forgotten about his rapping career now though, and that's because he's done such a good job of establishing himself as one of the more prominent rap critics and personalities these days. It really is no secret that Joe Budden has a bit of a dislike for many modern rappers. We've all seen the viral clip of the disagreement he got into with the Migos, and that wasn't really a one-off incident. He's also grilled Lil Yachty over his rap credentials and has repeatedly expressed a general disdain for the new mumble rap culture. In a way, Joe Budden is a representation of all those negative comments you see on YouTube that talk about how far rap has fallen since the good old days. Budden's criticisms can definitely be entertaining, but it would be hard to argue that he isn't stuck in the past. Number 6. Jay-Z. Mumble rap is a term that has fallen out of favor in recent years, and that's a good thing. Rap should be open and accepting of all different kinds of artistic expression. You shouldn't need to have the technical ability of Twista to be a rapper, and most people agree on that now. Sometimes music can just be fun, and there's no problem with that. But there was a time period when rappers that lacked bars were regularly made fun of. Even legendary rappers like Jay-Z joined in. Let's rewind a bit. The year was 2009, and Jay-Z was still one of the most popular rappers around. His musical legacy greatly exceeded his entrepreneurial legacy. He had just released The Blueprint 3, the hit album featuring Empire State of Mind. But the album was also promoted with another single, Death of Autotune. In the song, Jay-Z railed against the new breed of rappers who used autotune and made raps with melodies. He wasn't ready to accept that hip-hop was changing, so he asserted that his style of rap was superior. At the time, Jay-Z was definitely stuck in the past, but he has definitely come to his senses over the past decade or so, and that's great to see. While it's not like he's gonna collab with Lil Xan on his next album, he has a good working relationship with Future. It wouldn't even be that shocking to hear a Jay-Z song featuring autotune these days. So much for the death of it. Number 5. The Game. There are a lot of ways that you can argue that The Game is stuck in the past. His style of rap definitely owes a lot to the early days of West Coast hip-hop. It also seems like his rap career might be a thing of the past. His most recent album, Born to Rap, is supposedly his final record, but we'll have to wait and see if that ends up being true. But the real reason that The Game seems to be stuck in the past is because of his obsession with old school rappers. You don't need to look too far to find The Game talking about 2 of the biggest legends in rap, Biggie and Tupac. While all rappers have paid their dues to those 2, The Game takes it a step further by constantly referencing them. He even recently said that he thought of his beef with 50 Cent as being very similar to the Biggie and Pac situation back in the day. The Game also famously made a tribute song for Tupac called Heaven for a Gangster. It's clear that The Game views life through the lens of the golden age of rap, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. However, is he stuck in the past? I would have to say that he is. Number 4. Joey Badass. When it comes to modern rappers, New York's Joey Badass is frequently cited as one of the best lyricists. He has a hard-hitting style that borrows a lot from East Coast boom bap era artists like Nas. He does a great job of telling stories in his tracks, and his music is definitely different from what you might hear on the radio. But compared to most of his peers, Joey is definitely stuck in the past. To start with, Joey isn't a huge fan of modern rap. Almost like all of his favorite rappers are from previous decades: Tupac, Andre 3000, and Biggie. Even his more modern influences are hip-hop artists with a more lyrical and old-school style like MF Doom and J Dilla. The fact that he takes a more old-school or stuck-in-the-past approach to rap is actually one of his biggest calling cards, and he has earned a lot of fans because of it. Joey's major problem with being stuck in the past is that he doesn't accept the so-called mumble rappers. While most other rappers have found the worth in mumble rap, Joey is still against it. In fact, it was reported last year that he planned to exterminate mumble rap with his upcoming album. He also made a tweet that said, quote, "This is mumble rap extermination. This is godly interpolation." The responses to that message show just how far behind he is. Making fun of mumble rappers used to be cool, but it just isn't anymore. Get with the times, Joey. Number 3, Andre 3000. There should be no doubt when it comes to Andre 3000's legacy. Starting off his career with a legendary run alongside Big Boy in Outkast, 3 Stacks quickly established himself as one of the smartest writers in all of rap. He has kept an insane amount of consistency when it comes to features, since the end of Outkast as well. Almost every track he's featured on ends up being incredible. But having a legacy as great as Andre's is both a blessing and a curse. Ever since Outkast threw in the towel in the early 2000s, people were asking when Andre 3000 was going to release a solo album. The features he gave every now and again kept his fans at mildly satisfied, but everyone still wanted that solo album. So, where is it? It's been about 15 years since the last Outkast release, and it's pretty clear that we aren't going to be getting any new Outkast music. It turns out that Andre is tentative to release a solo album because of the massive suspense that there is for him to release his own music. He's told interviewers that he feels he will be unable to meet the expectations that have built up over the years. In this way, Andre is so stuck in the past that he can't even have much of a musical future. But in his defense, he's only that way because all of his fans are stuck in the past as well. Let's just all move on so that Andre 3000 can deliver a classic solo album, okay? Okay. Number 2, Hopsin. You may not know this, but Hopsin has been in the game for a long time. He first got signed back in 2007, and he has been consistently releasing music since then. His popularity definitely peaked back in the early 2000s when he was beefing with Tyler the Creator and the rest of Odd Future, but he is still going at it. And let me be the first to tell you that, sadly, Hopsin really hasn't evolved that much. His style is still more or less the exact same as it used to be. And what is the trademark Hopsin style exactly? Well, it's one that already felt played out back in 2010. He has been all about making controversial raps, looking edgy, and attacking modern rappers since way back then, and he's still doing it these days. That approach to rap made sense back in the 90s maybe, but it just feels really corny these days. Hopsin has never been able to realize that the fact that he is stuck in the past is likely holding his career back. But hey, that's sort of his thing. If he likes it that way, so be it. He's beefed with Odd Future, Soulja Boy, and any rapper that he views as promoting drug use, which, to be honest, is probably most popular rappers these days. He's not really into anything that's new, and that's just who he is. Hopsin and his music definitely feel like relics from the past. Number 1, Eminem. Look, let me get this out of the way. Eminem is definitely one of the best rappers ever. You'd have to be crazy to argue that. He led the way for an entire generation of new artists back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and he'll forever be iconic for that. His humorous, controversial, and deep bars changed the game, and he's still going to this day. I've got to give him some credit for that, but I also have to acknowledge that Eminem is really stuck in the past. In a way, Eminem is like a symbol of an era of rap that no longer exists. He speaks about social issues with the type of wordy lyricism that just isn't really found these days. His edgy, confrontational style of rapping was innovative back then, but he hasn't really changed it all that much. He's still just doing what he's always done, even though the rest of the rap world has moved on from that form of expression. Eminem provides something unique to the modern rap world, and that's definitely worth something. But the fact that he regularly challenges artists and expresses his disdain for all modern rappers who aren't Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole makes him just seem like the grumpy grandpa of rap. And that's not a persona that you want to have. A rapper with Eminem's talent should be known for a lot more than just hanging on to the past. So which of these rappers do you think is the most stuck in the past? Which rappers did I miss? Let me know in the comments. And before you leave, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to this channel.